Hi everybody, welcome back to Taji's World of Books and welcome to another book recommendation video. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. And so this is going to be another book recommendation video. So this is going to be on the Scarred Souls series by Tillie. There are 4 books in the series and let's just get into them. Okay, so the first books I have in a bind up, and this is the Scarred Souls series, and in the bind up is Raze and Reap. And so let me tell you a little bit of backstory about this so that you'll understand, and then we'll talk about each individual book more or less because I don't want to spoil anything. Okay, so this is about the Russian Bratva, and there is an ongoing sort of war with the Georgian sort of faction. It's another faction in the Russian sort of ongoing mafia war. Okay, so there is an ongoing, it's almost like gladiator style fighting ring where these mafia criminals kidnap children at very, very young ages. They kidnap both male and female, and they put them on these types of drugs, drugs A and B. Drugs A are experimental drugs that they're trying to basically create a master race of gladiators that are like the ultimate fighting machines that have no memory. It wipes out all their memory, it wipes out all their past, and it makes them killing machines, basically. Some of them they make assassins, some of them they make gladiators, and they, in these illegal fight rings, they make a ton of money. Okay, so then drug B is given to the females and the girls, and it turns them into monas, what they call them, and they ultimately are sex slaves and are given to the masters and given to other gladiator warriors, and they're basically used against their will, and it's pretty criminal and pretty horrific, the things that these girls go through. Okay, so once you're kidnapped and taken away from your home, you then are raised in this environment. And many of the characters that are in these books have been imprisoned for 20 years plus, never having known any kind of affection or love or civilized society, or it's all they know is fighting, death, violence, and so on and so forth. Okay, so then introduce Raze. And so Raze is, they are all tattooed based on the gulag that they're in. And so Raze has the tattoo 818 across his chest, and on his back, his name is Raze. And all he knows is that, you know, he's been fighting and he's a death, he raises all of his opponents to the ground. He is lethal, he is deadly, and all he knows is killing, and that's all he's ever gonna do. And so the book starts off with, you know, 212, another fellow prisoner, breaking him out because there's obviously a upheaval, an uprising occurring in the gulag that he's in, and most of the other prisoners are terrified of him, and 212 is not, because 212 has taken him under his wing and basically comes down and says, you're free. We're freeing you, you know, go out and seek your revenge. And so 818 says, where are we? Where do I don't even know where to go. And he says, we're in Alaska. And he knows that he needs to seek revenge against this particular character. And so he knows that he needs to get to New York. And so the scene sets where he goes to New York and he's going to seek revenge, and he meets this female, and everything starts from there. So in these books, there are the main characters, the 4 main characters are Luca and Talia. That's one set of couples. And then in the next book, in Reap, the main couples are Luca and Kisa, okay? And then in the second book, Reap, it is Luca's sister Talia and Zal. Then it is Zal's sister Zoya and Valentine. And then in the last book, it is Valentine's sister Valentine's sister, which they call 152, and (901), which we ultimately learn his name at the end of the book. Okay, so those are the main players in the book, and so Raze is about 818, or Luca, that we learn, and Kisa, and we find out that he has to seek revenge because he basically was taken against his will and framed for something, but you don't know what, and he's put into this system, and you find out who he is and what his identity is. And then in Reap, it is, again, it's other prisoners that are breaking out. So all of this is about freeing people from this horrible ring. So this is Raze and Reap. And then the next book is Ravage. And like I said, Ravage is Zoya's story with 194. And we learn that 194... is Valentine, and so this is their story. And so all of these books are basically telling about survival and I love it because it's about survival and it's about the human condition, it's about forgiveness, it's about revenge, it is the atrocities that humankind perpetrates against one another, but at the same time it also talks about, can you rise above your circumstances and be better than what you have experienced in your life? And so these books are super, super good. Luca, becomes very, very close with Talia, his sister, and he becomes very close with Zal. And so there's lots of discovery, and Luca basically dedicates his life to helping other people who have been through what he has been through to overcome that trauma. There are trigger warnings in this book, of course, in all of these books, about dubious consent, non-consensual situations, torture against children, violence. It's really, really difficult to read. This book is really good because this is a virgin hero in here, and he is so innocent but so deadly at the same time. I love that there is a part where when he's discovering that that Talia is there, that Zoya is there, he's saying, he says to her, are you for me? Like, because he doesn't understand like why she's there and what she's doing and what he's feeling for her. And so it is just really beautiful and really, really well done. And they're so hard to read. And this last book, this one is really tough because 152 is Valentine's sister, and you have to read through the torture that she goes through. And she's on this drug B, and this drug B puts her into a constant state of arousal. And as a result of this constant state of arousal, she has to be relieved and serviced. And it's really torturous because the master is evil and awful, and he services her, but he does it in the most brutalist of ways. And so, like I said, these books the concepts are really interesting, but it's really tough in the way that they do it. And Tillie Cole, I think she did a good job. I am not the biggest fan of the Russian Bratva because there are such hard characters, and it's not like, I don't see in the same, like with the Italian mafia, where there's a little bit of suave, joie de vivre, and like, they're suave and, all of that. Like, these guys are hard and brutal. And so there's definitely, and there's also newfound family because all of these couples, whilst they're all connected, they now become the kings of the Russian Bratva in New York. And so they all work together towards salvation and saving people and helping people to overcome all of this torture and trauma that they experienced over many, many years and lifetimes. And so overall, I think that the series is a 4 out of 5 star. It was really well done. I enjoyed it. And that is part 1 of my Tillie Cole deep dive. The next series that we're going to talk about by Tillie Cole is the Hangman series, so I'm really looking forward to getting into that for you. But if you're interested, that's the Scarred Soul series. It definitely is about broken heroes, broken alpha heroes for sure, and they are damaged, dark, brooding killers, but with their women, they are soft teddy bears, and their women are the only ones who can calm the beast and who can calm them and who can keep them moving on the right track towards healing and recovery. And even it's even really interesting because in both of these books, Valentine, it's like Beauty and the Beast. Valentine with Zoya. Zoya is the only one that can calm Valentine, and Valentine is so physically scarred from what he went through with his mistress. And it's also a captor-captive situation in this book because he takes her captive and he kidnaps her. So it's, like I said, a Beauty and the Beast situation. It's a captor-captive situation. It is... I am deadly to everybody but you, but they are so, so good for one another. And this, again, is a virginal hero as well. So after having said all of that, I have rambled on and on about these books. I think that you'll like them. If you like dark, if you like brooding, if you like torture, if you like all the heavy stuff and dark romances, they're dark contemporary romances, and I think that you'll enjoy them. And so that's all I have to say today. So you guys, thank you so much for joining me. And you know I upload new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye.